Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mihir Joshi. Welcome once again to the MJ Show. Flip around, yes. And I've got two really awesome guests for you today. First up, I have a singer who I know you guys absolutely fell in love with on a song that I love very much as well, that she did with Amit Trivedi. We're going to talk about that with her in a bit. But she's got her own album out. She's a singer-songwriter. She's written all songs on that album. The album is called Written in the Stars. So I want to talk to her about that, about the amazing musicians that she's had with her on that album, about all the work that she's done beyond her independent work. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get her on the show right now. Hey, where is she gone? I thought I just saw her here. Where is she? Why am I not able to see her? Hello. Oh, there you are. There you are. Let me add you in. Where is... Why can't I see her? Did she... Wait. Okay, this sounds like some old uncle trying to figure out how to use a phone for the first time. But I could swear I just saw her just a little while ago. And now I don't. So, let's drop her a message. Alright, so as I was saying, I've got two lovely guests with me tonight. I have Mili Nair, or Mili as she is known, up first. And at 9 p.m. I have an actor who is loved for his performance in a movie called Udan. And there she is. Rajat Barmecha is going to join me at 9. But first, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the MJ Show, the extremely talented Mili Nair. I'm just waiting for Mili to join. Hey, Mili, how are you?
Hey, Mihir, how are you?
I am doing good. I thought I saw you come in and then suddenly I could not see you anywhere. So I was like searching. Where is Mili gone? And there you are.
I'm having
we're waiting for your
internet today. I don't know why. My internet is like acting weird.
Yes, I still can't see you because there's that circle on your face. Are you close to your router right now? Wait. Okay, there. That's better. Can you hear me? I'm doing good. How are you? Excellent.
Good.
So,
I'm good.
I just thought I'd increase the volume, which I did now. I can hear you clearly as well. And let me switch the AC off. That way I can hear you even better. So, welcome to the M. And, I told you we had the chance to chat a few days ago on WhatsApp. I heard your album. And before we get into anything else, let me just congratulate you on a fantastic, work of music that you've made and put out already into the world, which is brilliant. I mean, to make an album, the level that you've made it with, the kind of musicians that you've got, the shooting of the videos, everything is absolutely top class. And I want to congratulate you on that.
Oh, thank you, Mihir. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Thank you. Means a lot that, you like the music and you like the work. And it was like making a film. As good as making a feature film. It was like a huge project. And it was really fulfilling as an artist, I mean, I'd been writing this music for quite a while now. And then, it takes time for things to align. But when it aligns, everything just happens. And this was just like that, where, I never thought that I'd actually work with these fantastic musicians who, I was like looking up to for so long in my life. And little did I know then that one day they would actually, play on my, debut record, which is this.
Yep. Oh, brilliant. I love that you're old school and you have a CD as well. I did that when my first album came out as well.
Yeah, I like it. I think we should both hold it up. We should both hold this up and then we can take a screenshot.
And what we'll do is I'll take a screenshot of this and we'll flip it around so that you can see the actual name of our albums. That's Mili and this is Mumbai Blues. Yeah. But you know what, listen, this is relatively recent, and what I do whenever somebody comes on the show for the first time is I want to go through your journey to the point where, you came to this stage in your life where you could get your album out. So let's start at the very beginning, which, as Julie Andrews said, is a good place to start. Sorry, I just got so geeky there. Oh my God. When I just said, let's start at the way.
I get it.
So no, I was saying, how did your journey in the world of music begin? Were you always into music? Was music a part of your family? Or did you learn music growing up?
Yeah, so music was part of my family. I mean, no one took music up professionally, but it was just a norm, coming from like a South Indian family saying that you have to learn Carnatic music and things like that. But I mean, I did learn it. I did a little bit of Hindustani singing as well. But my perspective to music was actually very different, you know. So ever since I was really little, I mean, from the time I can remember, I listened to music very differently. You know, I was listening to what the arrangement was like, and, you know, what the musicians were doing. And it was very a subconscious thing that was happening. I had no idea I was listening to music with that perspective. It was only later in life when I started writing. That's when I was like, it happened so naturally. And then I'm like, but I don't know the technicalities of it, but it just happened. That's when I figured that the way I listen to music has been very different. So I was always like, you know, in awe of harmonies and, you know, chord progressions and changes. And it's a very different thing. But the only way I could express was through singing. Okay. And I think at least from the time when we were young, we never had many schools which taught us like instruments, and you know about it, right? I mean, access was very limited. But whatever, you know, I got, fortunately, I was in a school in Pune that was really, really, you know, encouraging with music and singing. And so I was always first in line to sing, you know, and things like that. So that happened. And then college, then I reached Bangalore. And then I was in Mount Carmel College, where again, you know, music was like, you know, top. So competed and, you know, won and did a lot of stuff, experimented, choirs, this and that. And then I started even like singing with bands when I was like 17, you know, at 17. And then I did a lot of stuff with other people and musicians. So that quest kept going. And then, of course, I got this chance to work with Mr. A.R. Rahman, which was like my first ever Bollywood, not in Bollywood actually, it was a Tamil film. And that was again something which I never expected, because I was in Chennai for like a jazz show and I got a call saying that please come, sir's calling you. Just like, sir wants you here at 9 o'clock. So I was like, okay, let me go. I mean, I didn't even know whether, you know, I'd be able to cut it. I'd never done like a film song before. So I went there, and then, you know, it's like for a Mani Ratnam film. And I'm like, like what? Now the pressure's really building up. So, and it was for this Tamil film called Ravanan in Tamil. Hindi, mein, it was Ravan. So I sang for that, and it was a great experience, very overwhelming, but a very important point in my life where I could figure that, yes, I can actually do film music, you know, I mean, I can do that. And then at that time, I was also doing jingles in Mumbai. So I've sung for like all these campaigns, Coca-Cola, Mazda, Incredible India, the signature line is my voice, and then Cadbury's. So, I mean, jingles are fun, you know, and jingles are, you know, even though it's short, you get to work with so many wonderful people, creative minds. And then, yeah, at that time I started writing my music, and then, you know, things happen. Yeah, I think music with Amit really happened. And then, you know, I just started, you know, working towards this album, and then boom, you know, I got to work with these guys.
Okay, so before we get to the album, firstly, let's say hi to Bryden, who's here. Bryden and Parth are going to be joining me tomorrow on the show as well. And I'm assuming you guys know each other as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just thought we'd say hi to him. And before, like I said, we get into the album. So firstly tell me, when you were young, like you said, you know, you were listening to the kind of music. Firstly, what was the kind of music that you were listening to when you were young? Who were your early influences, or what was the kind of music that was, you know, on your playlist all the time, which you were, like you said, deconstructing mentally?
Yeah, so playlist means what? Yeah, like cassettes. You know, our playlist used to be tapes. So I remember.
And played over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. And someone had gone to London, some relative had gone to London, and on radio they had recorded this tape. Okay, I remember I was 6 years old. And this, they gave it to us, and, you know, so I remember them, I mean, my parents playing it at home. And I was like, wow, like what songs are these, you know? So from nursery rhymes straight to Phil Collins, The Police, and then Madonna.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I was like in awe. And then in Doordarshan, I remember there used to be that 1 hour or half an hour of music that used to come, you know, English music. So that's when again I used to, I think, yeah. So we used to hear
Top of the Pops. I think we used to show Top of the Pops.
Yeah. I so very vaguely remember, but I remember I loved Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins. It was like the first song where I made sure someone wrote the lyrics for me, and I sat alone and I learned it. And that's when
Oh,
I
lovely.
remember, yeah, and that's when I think as a child, as children, we are so, we're not jaded with too much of kida on the head. No, we are like, we just want to do what is in the moment. And that's when I decided that this is what I want to do. It makes me so, so happy. And I just feel one with the universe, and this is what I want to do. And that's what it
Fantastic.
is.
So,
Yeah.
with that said, can I hear you sing a line or two of that song?
Of that song, I don't really remember, but Another Day in Paradise.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise. Oh, think twice. It's just another day for you and me in paradise.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
I
You know,
remember.
I'm always very intrigued to see how people who now do music professionally, whether it's for films, whether it's their own music, I love always finding out where did it begin in terms of what was the music they heard growing up, which made them feel like, oh yeah, this makes me feel like I want to do music as well. And this is an amazing song to have as your early influence to get
Yeah.
into, get onto music. It was such an incredible song. It had such a moving video, and the lyrics were so beautiful.
Message. Yeah.
Listening
Yeah.
to it when I was a kid as well, and I was just blown away by the beauty of
Yeah.
this song. And this is the song that actually made me want to go back and discover more stuff that Phil Collins did, and that's when I found Studio and all
Exactly.
of. Sorry,
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You see, that's what it is, I mean, it's the quest. Like, we are seekers. We love to, find out, and I feel that now information is so easy to get. So, I mean, it's like you forget about it. But the stuff we did then, we remember. And that's
True
the
that.
connection, that's the connection we, value, I think, even
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Yeah. So that,
absolutely. No, I know exactly what you mean, because for me as well, I mean, I'm assuming similar to you. I was also very much into English music growing up. And
right.
again, we are both pretty much from that same time with cassettes and finding out from books, like finding encyclopedias or whatever of rock
Yeah.
music and things like that, sitting down, making. And I'm telling you, the process of discovery then was such a glorious thing. So, for instance, I had a guy called Roger Whittaker. He was the guy who got me into music to begin with. Now, I had two
Yeah.
cassettes of his, and I thought that
Hmm.
all the songs on that were obviously his because he was singing them. It was
Yeah.
only when I was 16 or 17 that I realized that these were not Roger Whittaker's songs, but he sang covers and he did them beautifully. In fact, I still
Wow.
believe some of the covers that he did are better than the originals. But then I found out that there's one song by John Lennon, there was a song by Elton John, there was a song by Elvis, whatever. And then I was like, holy shit. So these are not Roger Whittaker's songs. This is, oh, so yours is by Elton John. Who is Elton John? Let me find out Elton John.
Yeah.
Oh, then I found Elton John, your song by him. I was like, oh my God, let's listen to more. And then I was like, oh man, this guy has got great music. So, the
Yeah.
process of discovery difficult
Exactly.
time, because it was difficult, I think you valued it even more. Because,
True. True.
it took an hour to download one song back then. And then
Yeah.
when you,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you
Absolutely.
want to like devour it.
Yeah. And you just see how everything is so connected with each other.
Yeah.
Like the music and the people who are playing on it, and like like in Another Day in Paradise, the guitarist is Dominic Miller, who is a guitarist for Sting. He's Sting's guitarist, and I love his music. I love Sting. He's like on my favorite artist list. And then Sting's drummer is Vinnie Colaiuta. So in fact, just about 2 days back, I had I did an Instagram live like this with Vinnie, and I was telling him the story that when I mean in '93, when I heard "If I Ever Lose My Faith in You," that was like an unbelievable song, right? And the drums on that really fascinated me. And as time went by, I listened to many artists, okay? And we didn't have access to information as to who played what. I mean, of course, only music nerds and geeks will get it, right? So we want to like find out everything. But it was much later that I figured that it was Vinny who had played drums on all those songs. And And then I was like, fascinated that wow, like a drummer can play so many genres. And little did I know then that one day he will play on my debut album as, a singer songwriter, which is like the universe kind of throwing a sign at you, and, like dreams coming true, literally. This is just that, that's
That's
the power of
spectacular.
music.
So tell me and tell everybody about this. How did this happen? How did this, phenomenal cast of musicians come together to perform on your album? How did you reach out to them?
See, I'll tell you. See, there's no blueprint, or there's no fixed way as to how these things happen. Now, if I have to start talking about it, it'll be like I think your phone will like go off. But I'm just saying that, like, let me put it this way, Mihir. I think it's about life. Life taking its course and destiny kind of unfolding with the intention and dreams you put out in the universe. That's what happened, and one thing leads to another. And when you have this phenomenal cast of musicians coming in, you also kind of wonder, are you ready for it? And I
Yeah.
was somewhere, because yeah, you can have the best, but then you have to be ready for the opportunity. And for the body of work I'd done, and for the music I was listening to, I know even my compositions were in those lines. And then I had a ball, because these are people who can play the whole spectrum, whatever you want. So I remember in LA, when we were doing the first day of recording, Vinny had just finished his tour with Sting in Europe, and he came to LA, and I was first on the call.
Okay, we've just lost you there, Millie. I wish there was no internet scenes, but we just lost you. We just heard the last part where you said he just finished his tour with Sting and came back. Do you think you could move to some other part of your house where the internet won't be an issue? Hello? I can't hear you at all. Wait a second. One second. I'm going to add you back on. So we got a little bit of trouble with, hopefully now when I add her back on, the internet issues will magically disappear. I could just be thinking like Trump right now, who thought this situation of ours will magically disappear. But hopefully the internet is not as bad as COVID-19. I cannot believe I made a joke with Trump, our situation, and internet right now. But there you go. Anyhow, let's get Millie. Millie's unable to join. Why is Millie unable to join? Let me see if we can get her back on. Trying it again. Feel like we should be singing "If I Ever Lose My Faith in You" to the internet right now. If I ever lose my faith. There you go. That's the song that she's talking about. I know for a fact if I play the song right now, some record label somewhere very likely is going to claim this, but I'm so tempted to play the song for you guys. Such a beautiful song. Oh, what the hell? It's not like we're making millions of dollars. Oh, there. Hopefully Millie will join us. And till Millie does join us, let's give this a listen. All right, Millie, waiting for you. Come on in. Boom. So cool. Oh,
Can
there
you
you
see
are.
me? Here I
Yeah, I can
am.
see you much better.
This internet, I mean, I wish I could sit in a room with you, Mir, and have this chat.
I would love that too. Very frankly, whenever the situation ends, I
Whenever.
hope we can do that. Yeah, whenever that happens, I hope we can do that and have a conversation in person and talk more. But I'm glad you're back. I was just playing everybody a little bit of "If I Ever Lose My Faith in You," just giving people a taste of what you were talking about before you got in. So as I was, you were telling us, you came to a point where you said that he played a tour with Sting in Europe and he came to LA, and we missed you
Yeah,
after that.
and when he walked into the studio, I was like, oh my God, this is really happening, you know. So that was the story with Winnie. And then Michael Lander, who plays guitar, he was in the middle of a tour with James Taylor. You know, so these are like, you know, crazy things happening. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. You know, it's happening for a reason. And I just enjoyed every minute. You know, it was just like an out of body experience. And yeah, I think something I'll cherish for, you know, the rest
Uh,
of my life.
I'm sure. And so, let's talk about the songs on the album. You put out 10 songs on your album, and you've written all of them. Was the composition also already planned? Had you figured everything out when you went to the
Yeah,
musicians that you had? And do
absolutely,
you?
absolutely. Yeah, I had worked on, you know, the entire thing. The compositions by me, the lyrics are is, you know, written by me. So yeah, I mean, you know, the whole very clear with what we wanted, the sound we wanted, you know.
Yeah.
So those things, yes, definitely, definitely.
And had you actually written it out as notations? Like, did you know what each musician was supposed to play? I mean, was it planned to that level, or
Yeah,
did
I
you just
mean,
have an
yeah.
overall idea of what the song's going to be like?
See, once you have an overall idea of what things are, you know, then things have to just kind of go organically. So, I mean, yeah, you see, in the end, when you are getting these kind of musicians, you know, I mean, you really don't want to, you know, restrict too much of the process. So, yeah, you know, it's just a moment. So, what you see on the video is exactly what happened, you know, and that's my intention with this is that that's the connect I want, you know, the listener to get when they listen to it, you know. And
Yeah.
there's nothing like people coming together and playing, you know, music. So that I think is that is something which is a very human thing, you know, a very
And
human
and by the
connect.
way, if people are wondering what you're talking about, let me flip the screen around and show people something. That's Milli's YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm already subscribed to it. I hope you guys go and
Aw.
subscribe to it right away. I'm going to be, when this video goes up on the YouTube channel of the MJ Show, I'll give you a link to her channel. Go and check it out, because not only does it have some spectacular music videos, like I told her that day, the video for New Day is like a movie in itself, or even Fooling for that matter. We'll talk about
Aw.
those, but there are also these videos in which they're talking about the making of some of the songs. So the amazing musicians who played on the album talk about their experience of working with it. So you guys should go and check it out, because not only do you get the songs from the album, a few of them, but you also get to see a behind the scenes of what happens in the making of an album like this. So you definitely want to subscribe to our channel. Go and check it out immediately. Like, and after this interview gets over, and the 9 p.m. one, I'll give you a swipe up link to a couple of songs that I really enjoyed right here on Instagram. So you don't even have to wait till tomorrow, and you can check out some of the songs today itself. So now back to
Thank
you,
you.
Millie. I gotta ask you about the music videos. They are so beautifully shot. Where did you and take me through the process?
So basically, Fooling and New Day was shot in Budapest, and Fooling. When I wrote this song, Mihir, I had this idea about snow and cold and winter. It's like it's a song about heartbreak, and I've never seen snow in my life. Okay, I'd never. It's just something which is like a fantasy. Never. So I said, okay, let me write a song that kind of brings the emotion. So I wrote this song, and then when I was when we were prepping for the video, you know, so the director who directed it, Kaushik Sarkar, so he told me that, you know, we are doing this in Budapest, but it's going to be in winter. So I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so then how did he know that? Because I hadn't said anything. You know, I said, let me just let the process happen. That's my philosophy. And then I was like, then I asked him later, did I tell you anything about this? He's like, no, you didn't say anything. It's just something which came across through the music. You know, the visual came
Wow,
across through the music. And that
lovely.
shot me of me standing near the window and singing is something even I had visualized while I was writing. You know, like I'm looking out and it's like an afterthought, and it happened. So these are things which, I feel you can't write down on paper, and you can't really have like a blueprint. Some things have to just happen. So yeah, that was an experience in Budapest. So
That's
great.
fantastic. So if people were wondering why I was a little distracted and looking behind this, I'll show you why. Millie, could we hear you sing a little bit of Fooling?
Okay. Okay, let me Are we fooling, fooling, fooling? What's on our minds? I was naive like a child and you were blind. Are we fooling, fooling, fooling? What's on our minds? I know we are hurting tonight, gonna be alright. Are we fooling, fooling, fooling? These answers we seek to find, it's all inside.
Yeah. So I just want people to get a little look at your video while you were talking instead of just seeing me smiling like a goofball. But there you go. You got to see just a few seconds of Milli's video of fooling. And tell me about New Day. I love that video. There's just something mesmerizing about watching those, what do you call them? Fortune cookies being
Fortune
made
cookie.
with your lyrics fitting in like a line by line as you're singing it. That line that's been written on the little note that goes inside the fortune cookie. How did you even think of that? That's just a genius bit of filmmaking that I've seen in like a long time in a music video.
Yeah, that basically was, I think, the idea of the producer and the director of the, music video. They are the guys who conceptualized this idea. And New Day is also, the idea of the song is about leaving it all behind, new beginnings, moving on in life. And this we shot again in Budapest, and the place where I'm sitting is a very iconic place in Budapest called the New York Cafe, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. And it was a great moment, to just be there and have a great team working on it. Yeah, so don't ask me to sing New Day. That's like a powerhouse song.
So I'm not going to do that for everybody who
I'm
wants to
scared the
hear New
internet will
Day.
go off.
No, so that song, you guys should see the original video rather than watching it on this low resolution Instagram live version of our conversation. But I'm going to give you that video as a swipe up link later on. You guys should check that out tonight. But you know what? Tell me a little bit more
Hello.
about.
Oh.
Can you hear me? She just spoke about the internet going on, and that just happened. Coincidentally, this also happened with Benny. Unfortunately, we were not able to connect with him. I'm hoping that that does not happen with Millie. I hope we can get her back on, and we can hear a little bit more about not just her album, but I also want to. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay, let me hear having much better internet. Let's get her back on. There's Millie, who's asking for Vinny. Katsuki underscore T is asking, where is Vinny? Let's ask her when she comes back.
Back.
Oh, hi,
Oh,
there
I'm
you go.
back.
Better. Yes. So,
I'm so
no, I
sorry.
was saying that, no, so, when, let's talk a little bit more about the album. And I do want to talk a little bit about the work that you've done in films as well. You put out the album last year, right? 2019 sometime?
Yeah, basically, actually 2018 December, but technically it's 2019. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And if I had to ask you about any other song, and I know as a songwriter and as somebody who's made the album, all songs are important to you.
Yeah.
But if I asked you another song, I mean, I got you to sing a little bit of Fooling. Could you tell us a little bit more about another one of the songs that you really love in the album? And could I hear you sing a little bit of it?
Okay, I mean, I think, see, the title track of the album, "Written in the Stars," that's one of my favorites. As in, like, I love all the songs, like you said, but that's the title track, and that just basically talks about how things, happen, and how things are beyond, data and whatever. It's just a soul connect. So, "Written in the Stars" is about destiny. It's about life. It's about the moment. So yeah, I think that song is one of my favorites, and I can sing that for you now.
I love that.
Okay. Don't know why it's strange, don't know what I'm feeling, and when you came my way, I felt I've known you for some lifetimes. Then life just got in the way. Climb the mountains holding space and smooth the river slow in time, inching closer every day to you. And your soul is the rhythm of my life. You're calling me this way. Written in the stars, you're written in my life. Written like the songs that will live beyond our time. We could go discover, chasing our own minds. Not something we didn't know all along. You're written in my soul.
Beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Thank you, Meethi.
So, guys, I recommend the album very, very highly. No matter what streaming platform you like, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, Ghana, Savan, whatever, find the album, listen to the album, and of course, there are quite a few beautiful videos from the album on her YouTube channel. Go and check them out. Now, Mili, let's talk a little bit about your work in films. And like I told people in your introduction, there's a song that you did with Amit Trivedi, which I absolutely love, and you've done a decent amount of work with him, right? You worked with him even on Coke Studio.
Yes.
But the song that you did with him in Kai Poche is something that I think everybody fell in love with you for. So tell me a little bit about that. How did that come about? How did you know Amit from a long time? How did your work with him begin? And tell me a little bit about
So I remember I was in Mumbai. I mean, I was singing a jingle at that time with someone, and then I got this call saying that, can you please come and record the song we have. So I said, okay, I'm in this recording, in the session. I'll finish it and I'll join you. Once I'm done, no problem. How late, no issues.
Gosh, we have internet issues. Ah, man. Millie, we lost you completely. We did not. The last thing I heard was you telling me that, man, this feels like olden times when used to make dial-up calls and say like, भाई क्या बोल रहे हो? सुनाई नहीं दे रहा मेरे को. थोड़ा जोर से बोलो, मुंह के सामने रखो. That's the scene where we are at right now, just digitally on Instagram, like where I almost scream and say, मिली क्या बोल रही हो? मुझे सुनाई नहीं दे रहा. ठीक से बात करो. I'm sorry. This is just okay. Oh, all of a sudden you're super clear. What did you just do? Hello. Gosh. Okay. And I'm so infuriating. किधर है मिली? मिली मिली नहीं है मेरे को अभी तक. किधर है? अरे I can't even add her now. She's gone out of the Instagram से ही उड़ गई क्या? यहाँ पे 1 minute hold on. I know, right, Vrinda? Very bad network यार. क्या बोले? And Madhura, you're laughing. Anup is laughing. Life ही ऐसा है. क्या करे? Internet इतना. I wish I could get into like the full Mumbai slang mode right now, but मेरा भी network खराब है. You can't hear me also. Meer's a very bad network. 1 minute. मैं तो Wi-Fi पे हूँ ना. हाँ, Wi-Fi पे हूँ. Hey, Aksh Bagla is here. He was here with us yesterday. Had a great time chatting with Aksh. By the way, his episode with me on the MJ Show is up on the YouTube channel of the MJ Show. Go and check it out. If you missed it live over here, कहाँ गए भाई सब लोग? Millie is not here only. Where is Millie gone? Millie, come back. Oh, you know what? Let me entertain you guys while I get Millie back on. She spoke about a guy called James Taylor. Oh, you can hear me well. Good. That's good to know. So I was saying there was a guy called James Taylor. Hey, Aksh, how are you, my friend? Who I fell in love with as a teenager. I absolutely loved his music. And, I mean, I love a lot of his songs. There's a song of his that I'm really, really fond of. And I thought while we get Millie to come back on, hopefully I can get her on soon. I'll hum a line or two of a James Taylor song and entertain you while we get her back on. This is a song called Fire and Rain. Hopefully in a key that I can sing. Here we go. I think I can, yeah. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. Just got to see me through another day. I'm adding Mili on. Hopefully I'll get her back. My body's aching. My time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time. And there you go. Thought I'd kill a little bit of time. You spoke about James Taylor, and I love James Taylor. So while I was getting you back on, I thought I'd hum a line or two of a James Taylor song that I really love.
I think it was a good. It was a good
Thank you
thing that
so much.
happened because you
So,
sang it like
so the
really
last
well.
thing I heard was you were in a
Sorry to hear
studio
it.
and you got a call saying that that's where we kind of lost you. You were doing a jingle.
Yeah. You know about Amit, right? Yes. So he called me and he said, I have this song, just let's try this. And I said, yeah, let's let's see how it goes. And when I heard that song, it was like it was a dream, yeah. And I was like, okay, I have to sing this well, and I really would love to sing this song. And again, Mihir, when we sang it, it was like, destiny again. Everything, I just sang. What you hear, I think, is like the first take, yeah.
Wow.
It was just like, it was just flowing. And everyone was like magic, So that's what I believe, that there's a song written for everyone, and it comes to you when the time is right, and such a beautiful song. I really thank Amit for writing such a beautiful composition, because actually it's, even though it's a
Correct.
Bollywood
Correct.
song, it's pretty unlike a
You know, for
Bollywood
me,
song,
for
right?
me,
It's a
it's
little
actually
different.
one of the best songs of
So,
Amit's
so
musical career. I think it's one of the most beautiful melodic songs that he's made. And I have to tell you, and when I heard the song the first time when the movie came out, we didn't know each other. I have a feeling we met around that time because I remember I was so enamored by the song. I loved it so much, and I wanted to find out who the singer was who sang it because I had not heard anything else by you till then. You know, we not ever crossed paths, and I was absolutely blown away by your performance, and I
yeah.
think it genuinely is one of the most beautiful songs in, say, the last decade from Amit Trivedi's music catalog and from films in general. So, full compliments and love to you for having sung that song so beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Meer. I mean, see, that's what I mean. I'm so glad that we can connect through, the music, and I mean, somewhere it feels very rewarding when it really connects to people and connects. Like, see, now after so many years, we are like, talking about the things we love, and the commonalities and music, and that's a great thing, which I really feel that. I think some people are missing out today, but I think I'm
Absolutely.
glad
So,
that
before we
yes.
kind of wrap up, I know unfortunately a lot of our time went in connecting onto the internet. Can I hear you sing a little bit of Meethi
I
Boliyan?
know. How? Sure, I'll sing it for you. Okay. मीठी बोलियां सुन लो आसमानी रंगों की मीठी बोलियां सुन लो बेजुबानी लम्हों की गिरते संभलते चलते लड़खड़ाए हाँ मगर ये हौसला न डगमगाए अरमान के पतंग को उड़ाए.
But you know, I get what you mean when you say it's not a typical Bollywood song. It's got that traditional, I mean, trademark Amit Trivedi kind of stamp on it. But even for Amit Trivedi's music, it's different. You know, it's I just love it, man. There's just something inexplicable about this song which makes me smile every time I hear it. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And you know what? I want to wish you all the best, not just for Written in the Stars. I hope a lot more people hear it, even though you put it out a while ago. I hope people hear it and recognize that it's genuinely a labor of love and good work. You know what I mean? You got great musicians. You've sung it fantastically. And I hope that the album finds a lot more traction this year. And you know what? Let's end today's session not with the Amit Trivedi song, but going back to an artist whose drummer connected with you and whom you had on your album and who was a big influence in you. And I'm assuming you spoke about the fact that you sang with bands around the time that you were 17, 18. I'm assuming you probably did a song or two of Sting when you were performing with bands. So can we end it with a song by Sting? Pick a song of Sting that you like.
I don't remember. I mean, problem is that I don't remember lyrics really well. So I'm like, you know,
Take it.
let me
Take your time.
2 minutes when I get, you know,
Yeah.
So we should at least do whatever we do.
Yeah, go for it.
Now. Even if the internet messes around with us. Okay, I'll sing a little bit of the song which I really love.
Please.
Called Roxanne.
Oh, I love it.
And
I love it.
I love that song. Yeah. Okay. All right. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night, Roxanne. You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right, Roxanne. You don't have to put on the red light, Roxanne. You don't have to put on the red light. 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 Put on the red light, Roxanne. Roxanne.
Yeah. I love how you millied it over here because it was your version, not just like the. I love that. I love it. It was really, really cool. I absolutely dug that. And Roxanne's an amazing song, guys. But you know what? With that done, I wanna thank Mili. Thank you, Mili, for being here on the show with me. And you know, so you know what? This is what I recommend. Whenever this video, so I'll save the video. It automatically gets saved on my IGTV here, and tomorrow it'll go up on YouTube as well. You could even close your eyes and watch this video because it would sound great as like a podcast. Because you know, unfortunately, because of the internet, Mili kind of disappears and comes back, and there's like this little blur on her face, but her voice was heard properly throughout. So you know, you can choose to look at my face. If you don't want to look at my face as well, close your eyes, sit down calmly, and just listen to this entire conversation because it will work perfectly as a podcast as well.
Thank you so much, Mihir. You've been so patient with this. I mean, I'm so sorry I couldn't do anything.
Totally cool, yeah.
So
this is how it is, and life does not always give you everything you want, but when it gives you lemons, you make lemonade and all of that jazz. Sorry for being corny again. Thank you again, Mili, and follow her on Instagram. Subscribe to her on YouTube. This video goes up on YouTube tomorrow. Subscribe to the MJ Show so that you can watch this without interruptions, peacefully at your time. But I will be back in about 15 minutes from now with an actor who coincidentally, the music of the big film that he did that everybody loves him for was actually done by Amit Trivedi as well. I'm talking about a film called Udaan. for which Amit Trivedi gave the music. And Rajat Barmecha from Udan will be here with me at
Wow.
9 p.m. So join me for that. But for now, that's Mili. I'm Mihir. I love that our names kind of rhyme, Mili and Mihir. Yeah, they kind of could. Yeah. But yeah, for now,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all the time we have. Mili, you want to say something to all your fans before you leave?
I just want to say thank you for, still sending me messages about all these songs that you hear and love. It means a lot. And I want to thank you, Mihir. Thank you so much for having me and being so patient. And, want
Loved
to
it.
thank you
Take
for
care of
listening all my
yourself
music.
and
Thank you
stay
so
home, stay
much.
safe, and we'll catch up once the whole situation's better.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. See you. Take care.
Yes, we got
Bye.
to. We have
I'll
to.
see you guys in
Yeah,
15
that's
minutes.
the plan.